Another lecture, and I hope this to be a very interesting lecture where I will use data on the fly. In this case, as you can see here, I will say select name from values. I will provide three values by names. Yeah, these are fruits names. Yeah, I will call these fruits, and inside the value, yeah, will be references name. You can see here after the from clause, I will say us fruits, and then so I will define basically the values as a table, as a dynamic table. This is what I have here. Yeah, a table on the fly. So let's execute the first one, just to get used, yeah, to executing this data, because I will repeat this query again and again with some little changes. As you can see here, yeah, definitely the list was apples, oranges, nuts. This comes up as orange, nuts, oranges, okay? Order in an alphabetical order, okay? So what I want to do now is to execute the same query with a small adjustment. Look here. I want to select only those entries with a row number, okay, with a row number greater or equal to 1. If I provide a row number, you can see here, this is a window function, okay? If you're not familiar with window functions, I repeat myself, at the end, look at the end, I have some other lectures for beginners and for intermediate level, okay, where I explain in detail about the window functions. And later on here, yeah, at the advanced level, I will refer to them again. For now, I just assume that you know something about, or if you don't know, okay, that's one way to provide some window functions, row number, that's a window functions, rank window functions, open parenthesis here, over, okay? This will make the previous function recognized as a window function, okay? Over, and in the over clause, I will provide the sort over for this one. So what's a window function in this case? Is like a nested aggregate, okay? So this will look at the collection which is ordered by name and will provide a sequence number. Basically, this will provide 1, 2, 3. So for you see, I already have the result here from the previous query, and I already have the row number on the left here. But this is something different. Yeah, this is something provided by Snowflake in the web UI. But my function here will provide a separate column, which basically is the same. Because if you look at this, yeah, everything should be ordered sorted by name. Yeah. In life, this could be sorted by something different here. Yeah? But I just want to keep it simple here to see how it works. But long story short, yeah, let's try this function. Let's see what we get. Yeah, we expect to get something nice. Window function row number over, okay, appears outside of select, qualify, and order by clauses. Interesting, no? Okay, let's try something else then. Okay, what I have here, look, I will put this one, the row number, then in the select clause. That's what they tell me here. Yeah, that's what they told me. Select name, row number, yeah, over blah, 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 from where RN, yeah, I will refer to this one as an alias. We've seen before this works, or this should work. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's select everything. Oh, not again. Window function over appears outside of select, qualify, and order by clause. It's the same message. So I cannot refer to the window function with rn with an alias in the where clause. Okay, so this is interesting. And you have this everywhere in any other relational database, okay? You may try it. We'll discuss this in detail later on, but for now, remember that usually that's a typical fix. You isolate, you isolate your query as a subquery, yeah, where you call the row number. Yeah, you don't combine the same declaring the window function and filtering by the window function in the same query. I isolated this here as a CT. Yeah, that's a subquery. So here I just provide the row number for every row. For every row. Okay, this is what I do. And then on the outside, I will filter by this row number. Why is this important? You can see already that what I do here, I evaluate the row number in the subquery, but I will filter everything on the outside. So there are two different operations. And first, I make sure that the row number is evaluated as such. And then on the outside, I filter by this row number. And yes, this will work. Now, what's going on? Can I still provide this in one single query? Why do I have to split up the query into a subquery? Well, this works, but just remember, this doesn't work with where. As I said before in our message, you can provide this, but in a qualify. Qualify. And this is what Snowflake provided, the qualify clause. You knew about this because I found out about this just a few years ago, not long ago. And I can tell you, I didn't know what's about. I wrote an article, which became very popular on Medium. I will leave you a link. And yeah, I actually investigated everything. I looked at other databases. I looked at who came up with this. It looks like Terabyte. Teradata, yeah, Teradata came up with this first. Other database systems, yeah, implemented this, and fortunately, Snowflake too. And look, this will work, and yeah, we'll discuss in detail later on why. Let's see if the different versions that I provided first works because, yeah, definitely I don't want row number to be in my select projection. Yeah, I don't want this. I want to filter only by row number. So if I do this as well, yeah, that's the main difference here. Sometimes you don't want the function to be declared here. So this works as well, yeah. You see, row number is called, is evaluated, everything in the qualify. Qualify is used to filter this value later on. Yeah, that's the difference here. Long story short, the order of evaluation of the clauses in an SQL select statement matters. And why this didn't work before is because the window functions are not evaluated by the time you execute or you try to evaluate expressions in the where clause or in other clauses, yeah, in group by, in having, and so on. So that's why we needed a new clause because qualify will make sure that the window functions that we reference in qualify, yeah, have been evaluated before, or that qualify itself will evaluate and execute some window functions. And look, I will come up here at the end, yeah, with a more complex query. We'll discuss this briefly. That's more complex. Yeah, I don't have the pretension to understand it fully in this specific lecture, but the code is here. You can analyze this one, and I will provide two different versions. One version with one single select statement, yeah, with no subqueries basically, and one split up in different subqueries just to figure out the order of execution of these clauses. So I will use also values on the fly, except that I will use two different sets here. You see that I will use from values, blah, blah, blah. This would be fruits name stock, okay? And the next one would be sales with name and quantity in this case, yeah? Stock and quantity, okay? uh, how many are in stock and what's the quantity that eventually I sold. And I will have a join. Yeah, definitely want the name. Just like before, I have Apple, and yeah, I added more here. You see, I added nuts. Yeah, so for the quantity here, you see that you may have the same entry again and again. Yeah, so this could be about individual cells. Yeah, let's call it. And the first one, yeah, this contains the inventory basically. So this is just to have an easy understanding of what it does and what I look here. I will look at the name and I want the sum of the quantity from everything. But then you can see here I have from join on. I try to add as many clauses, additional clauses as I could. I added an where, okay. I added a group by, a having, a qualify. Qualify just like before. Row number over, okay, fruits name, yeah, more than two. Order by limit to. Let's just run it, yeah. As I said before, it's more complex, but this will basically help you understand what's next. And as I said before, this is also discussed online. because I tried on purpose to come up with the exact same use cases that I demoed online, because out there I discuss in even more details than I could here. Okay, so I get oranges and nuts in this case, yeah, sold. You see here, these are the values sold for these two ones. And as I said before, yeah, let me close this one. Okay, I could right now select the last one and execute it. But let's have a look at this. I will have a bunch of chained CTEs in this case, and that's good practice also because you can split this up into subqueries, then move into CTEs. Yeah, that's pretty advanced stuff. Yeah, intermediate to advanced stuff, and that's a good practice, as I said. Yeah, with fruits. Yeah. Then cells, yeah, I define the second set with cells with another CTE, and then you see the join, yeah, here, yeah, I documented everything, yeah, the join on clause, yeah, it's in another CTE, the where clause, yeah, it's in another filter, the group by, the having, the over, the qualify, okay, the distinct, yeah, you can see the distinct is here, and the order by, and the limit of. Why is this important? Because this helps you understand the order of operations that you had here. Okay. And you can see it's very interesting because actually, when you select, yeah, let's see here, when you select the top uh, columns, yeah, from the results list, this is done somewhere here, yeah, by the end. This is done somewhere here. Is not done at the beginning. Yeah, the select projection list is not evaluated first. Okay, we'll select this one. We'll execute it just to demo that, to make sure that okay, the code is running, and yes, we got the same result. And as I said before, yeah, it's a more complex query, but it's important if you want to have a look, yeah, to understand it properly, and have a look at my blog post as well, where I describe this in even more detail. Filtering data in an SQL select statement could be done, yeah, obviously in a where clause. This will limit the data returned by the from clause alone. Yeah. Having will remove rows combined by a previous group by clause. You should be very familiar with this because, yeah, definitely you should know when to use where, when to use having. Yeah, where is used before group by, having is used after group by, and having usually uses aggregates on the groups of rows already selected by group by. Distinct will also remove duplicates from all group by fields. And yes, we've seen before that qualify is somehow similar to where, but for the defined window functions. If you use window functions in your select query, remember that you can filter them in the qualify clause. And why is this? Look here. On the left side, we have the query statement. This is the order of declarations, yeah, in the query statement. On the right side, we have the query execution or the query evaluation. So just remember, as you can see here, yeah, we demoed this before. The select projection is the select clause, for instance, is not evaluated until later on, after other clauses are evaluated. Related to qualify, let's have a look first at other clauses we discussed about, at the where, at the having. You can see here where and having. Okay, let's have a look at where on the left side. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is because we tried to filter a window function there. But look on the right side. Where is on the top? Look later on where the window functions are actually evaluated in the where over clause, in the over clause. Yeah. So by the time you use, let's say, where with an rn alias, yeah, coming from a window function defined in the select statement, rn is not evaluated at the moment. Okay, you'll have to wait for where to be evaluated. However, if you use the same expression in the qualify clause, you'll see the qualify is evaluated after the window functions. So by the time you use the expression here in qualify, the window function is evaluated. And this applies as well if in qualify you totally define and compare, let's say, window functions. You can define the whole window function in qualify, and it will be evaluated right before.